Could this be a coincidence? Think about it. That no news channel broadcast the story that in Charleston, West Virginia, for 5 days, there was a ban on using any water. For anything, for showers, for anything, much less drinking it. So, 300,000 people in Charleston, West Virginia. I just learned tonight at 11 o'clock watching the Jon Stewart Daily Show, he calls it, the Daily Show. And he made a big joke out of it. It's a joke because people won't watch Jon Stewart if he doesn't make them laugh about stuff, okay? Regardless of what it is. And then he followed that up with a piece by a guy who made a movie about Uganda, that they want to kill homosexuals in Uganda. So the idea is that in Uganda, the people are really weird. In America, they're not weird at all. They just laugh that 300,000 people were forced to go without water for 5 days, and the news didn't say a peep about it, okay? The media. So all I'm asking you is to consider the possibility that this was actually a coincidence, that ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, the whole media, or the whole journalism industry somehow coincidentally decided not to report this particular story until today, the 13th, for 5 days. And Jon Stewart reported it, and then I checked it out on Google, and I caught an ABC report from today, the 13th, okay? So, is this possibly a coincidence? Or could it possibly be a conspiracy? That they all decide, let's not broadcast this 300,000 people that could not drink or use water for anything, including a shower. That's how poison it is. Now, is this a surprise when they're blasting the tops of mountains off every day and dumping this terrible poison into the water supply? And now they're going to have a big investigation on how this happened? Jesus. Okay. How did it happen? What I want to know is, how did it happen that the news media, all of them, every one, didn't report it until today? And that's when I heard about it from Jon Stewart, who made a joke out of it. And then he turns around and makes it sound like the people in Uganda are really screwy because they want to kill homosexuals. And there's some guy did a movie about it. Okay? So I guess that makes Americans appear to be reasonable people. That, hey, what the heck? There aren't any conspiracies. If you ever say a conspiracy, you're crazy as a bedbug. Okay? Isn't it possibly the opposite? That if you could actually believe that these are coincidences, that you're crazy as a bedbug? That if you obviously know they couldn't possibly be coincidences, and they obviously are conspiracies, but if you say that, they'll say you're crazy. So you can't say that. That's the deal here, right? So today, I actually sent a query to a literary agent about a book I was writing. And that's what the subject was, actually. Okay? And she was backed off that instantaneously. And then I followed up with another woman who was on Book TV yesterday about some deal she was promoting that would help people who self-publish their books. Because who's going to write this book, right? That the media is actually deceiving everybody, and it's an absolute conspiracy. And it goes on and on and on. but I'm just starting from today, okay? And we can go back. What about Sandusky? That's a good one. I mean, there's tons of good ones, okay? Sandusky rapes a kid, and they all cover it up, okay? They conspired to cover it up. That means that the coach, Mike McQueary, who was in a bowl game for Penn State, big, tall, 6'4" guy, he watched this guy rape this kid. And he didn't stop him. He didn't call the cops. But he told Paterno, who's this wonder coach that won more than anybody else in college, more football games, right? Who then went to he didn't report it, he reported it to the athletic director, who was, by the way, fired and now indicted. Him, and also on top of him, the president of the university, okay? So they all conspired, right, to keep this covered up for Sandusky until it blew up. But that's the American way on everything, okay? Including this mess in West Virginia, including the blowing off the tops of these mountains. That the media does these conspiracies all the time. And my point is, based on a capitalistic approach to business, that if I could get one media company to turn on all the rest of the industry, expose the whole works, and show the people that if they could trust this one media company, I don't care which one it is, then they would have all the business. So why wouldn't they do it? It's capitalism. Let's get them. It's competition. It's fair. They're our customers, right? The customers want accurate news. They don't want you to lie to them and deceive them or not tell them stuff, okay? And boy, one more thing, and there's plenty more, but we just end it with this one deal. That when Building 7 dropped at 5:30 in the afternoon, 7.5 hours after the two towers collapsed, the media didn't report it. I found out about it 6 years later, which made me curious. I don't think any person who wouldn't be curious when they found out that the media never reported Building 7 collapsing at 5:30 that day, 9/11. Well, what happened? Did every one of these reporters and producers and editors and publishers, they all did this coincidentally? They all decided, well, hey, we're not going to report this building collapsing. Nothing hit it. Nothing hit it. That's a story. Nothing hit it, but it collapsed. Okay? So, you don't want to report that? And you telling me that this is a coincidence that every single competitor in journalism decided on their own to not report it? Are you the buffoon of the century or what? You mean to tell me that couldn't be a conspiracy? It couldn't be anything but a conspiracy. You got it? The coincidence theorists are as screwy and dumb in a trance as anybody could possibly be. And that's it for today, okay? Thank you.